So here we are on TC 2000 trading page, and just click cursor anywhere on your chart and enter word STZ and enter. So STZ is, as you know, Constellation Brands Incorporation is a maker of alcoholic beverages. You can research companies' information on any of the informative web portals such as MarketWatch, Yahoo Finance, CNBC or so. But usually what I do, I go to Yahoo Finance. So Yahoo Finance in Google search, click enter, and just bring up the Yahoo Finance page from any search results. Okay, so I'm on the finance.yahoo.com and I'll enter the STZ, enter or select with your mouse. So Constellation Brands STZ is trading on NYSE, and as of the recording date, it was at $166. On the right hand side, if you scroll down, so essentially Constellation Brands together with its subsidiaries produces, imports and markets beer, wine and spirits in the United States and other countries. Now we will go back to our chart. So let us bring up, click on TC 2000 chart. My STZ is already here, and usually when you open the chart, it's on the daily chart. What I'm going to do is select the hourly chart. So this is the first step you will do. Step number 1 is select hourly chart. Step number 2 is add indicator. Click on STZ, add plot to chart, click on STZ plus sign and enter word ECHI. So essentially this is the Ichimoku cloud, and I'll bring it a little closer. Ichimoku cloud indicator. This is the one that we want to plot on the chart. Select Ichimoku cloud. So Ichimoku cloud plots on the price history of STZ. Step number 3. Click again on STZ plus sign. This is the sign. Click on the next to the symbol. And in the search, enter moving. So all the moving averages comes up. Select either simple or exponential. Doesn't matter, but I'll select exponential. And when the add moving average comes up, just is already selected STZ, but you can select it again if you wish. Let me just get out of this and click on STZ. Okay, so we had 3 steps. Step number 1, open your TC 2000, enter the symbol, then you set up your chart hourly, then you add plot for Ichimoku cloud, and then you plot for moving average 50. Now, as you know, as you aware that in 2000 March, the market plunged, and we can see that the STZ was about $105 on March 3rd. So stock went quite low, but we will see how it started to come up, and this is where we will actually get the buy signal. When STZ started to come up, at one point it crossed 50-day moving average. So on March 25th, it crossed the moving average at $129.59. This is your signal number 1. As you can see, it started to come up and it actually crossed the 50-day moving average on March 25th. This is the one. This is your buy signal 1. Now option number 1 is you could have sold it on March 31st when it actually crossed the conversion line, which is the red line here, the red line of Ichimoku Cloud. It crossed the red line at about just get me out of here, about $143. So you could have bought it at 128, you could have sold it on 143. That's just the rough approximate price. Or option number 2, you could have just let it sit there and add another a few more shares on April 4 when it again crossed 50-day moving average at $139. As you can see, it crossed on $139. Now after that, option number 3 is you could again sold it when it closed at $150 on April 4, or you could have just kept it until the recording date, which is $166. So the stock went from stock went from $128 to $166. Now this is just the technical chart. This is just the way that you would see it on the chart. But if you are an avid follower of any particular stock, you also need to give some thoughts on the news. What's happening here? Just an example here. There was an article in New York Times, how the virus transformed the way Americans spend their money. This is the article. If you can Google it, you will find this article in New York Times. Essentially, it says that when the markets plunged, where the money was flowing. For example, travel, shopping, transportation, the money was out. So people were spending less and less money on these particular sectors. Travel was the lowest. Groceries were the highest. So in coronavirus pandemic, groceries were the highest. Now let's look at another chart. Scroll down in the same article, and this is the good one that I wanted to take a look. Again, airlines in the list money flowing category, and let's go back to, and here alcohol, which is in this blue category. So as you can see, cruise, fitness, apparels, lodging, movie theaters, they were all in the really negative sectors. Fast food, giving were in the middle. Mobile was kind of a little going to the green, but the sectors that were the best performing sectors were general merchandise and e-commerce, supermarkets, warehouse clubs, alcohol, which is the STZ, our Constellation brand, milk kits, video streaming, and food delivery. So back to our chart. So our technical chart is backed up by the fundamentals as well. But even if you don't look at the fundamentals, you will see that the money was flowing towards these brands. Not only STZ, there will be other brands as well. But how you could capture 10%, 20%, depending on where actually you enter the market. But here, if you had a simple chart with this indicator, you could have potentially understood where the market was going. Now let's look at another symbol. For example, Home Depot. Press cursor on your chart and enter HD, Home Depot, and press enter. All right. So this is the Home Depot price history, and the one with the yellow is our 50-day moving average. And again, 50-day moving average, the Home Depot price crossed 50-day moving average somewhere here on 24th of March. That's our first signal. If I select this particular price history, I will see on my left hand side on Tuesday 24th of March, Home Depot was $177. That was our first buy signal. Now again, if you had bought at 177, you could have sold it when it crossed our red conversion line at 129. So 177 to 189, 188, somewhere around that range. That's, you could have sold it, or if you could have just waited, let it risk splash a little bit, and again it crossed our 50-day moving average on 187 again. 187, it crossed 50-day moving average. Let me just make it a little closer. This is our 50-day moving average. This is where the price crossed it. And once it crossed our 50-day moving average 187 as of recording date, again it's at 202. So it started at 176, it went all the way to 201. So just a simple setup. Set it up your TC2000 or any other charting software. It's not particular to one charting software. You could do the same thing on another charting software, TD Ameritrade or others. Just make sure that you are on hourly chart. You set up your Ichimoku cloud. You set it up your either moving average simple or exponential 50-day moving average, and then you observe or scan your portfolio when price crosses 50-day moving average. That's your buy signal. You can sell it when price crosses the conversion line of Ichimoku cloud, or you can add when the price crosses again the 50-day moving average, and then you can set it up your sell stop order, or you can just leave it there. And if the stocks are good, like the Home Depot or Apple or anything, you want to keep it for longer term, you will just keep adding whenever this signals comes up.